Alright, so here's a video for the 2003 smoke screen. Took me a while to figure out what the name of this was because I was like, smoke screen? That, for some reason, that makes me think black or gray, and so I'm like, well, why would they call this thing the smoke screen? And we will get into why it's called the smoke screen at the end of this video. So again, it's another one of those vehicles that feels a lot like a corpse or a Tonka, and I'm starting to think that maybe they had to start making them more sturdy, because if I didn't mention already, this is part of the Sound Attack line, and maybe because it has electronics in it, they had to make it a little more sturdy because they don't want kids to get into the wires, because that could cause problems or whatever. So it's kind of a little confusing, at least for me. There is this thing here, and I don't know if it's supposed to be a telescope or an antenna or a smokestack or what, but for some reason it makes me think you would push down on it and something would happen, but it doesn't. So if anyone sees this video and knows what that is, that would be a cool comment. I do like the fact, though, that it's got an engine in it. Again, it doesn't do anything as far as I know, but that's kind of cool, so you can reenact thing or have a diorama and everything. And I was able to find double clutch because in a previous video for the Desert Coyote, he's the driver for that, and so this is double clutch right there, and so he was in the smoke screen instead of the other one. So it's always kind of interesting again about doing these videos, because it's like, why and how did he get there? But he was there. He was in here. So anyway, so you've got your engine there. That closes. There are the normal not 25th, the normal 80s pegs. Hopefully you can see them. There's one right there, and then so way back there in the corner. Let's try and get some light on that. Yeah, so there's one, and then one way in the corner. So somebody can stand there. Again, it's double clutch. Actually does have the 80s peg holes in him, so they must have just started doing that with the 25th anniversary, where they changed him and got him smaller and whatever. So you can have him or somebody stand up right there and shoot over the side or whatever. And it's got a driver's wheel right there, so there's room for that. I liked on the split fire how you could take them in this way and this way, but you can't take them in with this one because the doors do not open. They are molded shut, so they don't open. I like this antenna. It's kind of cool, whether it was just done so that it could fit in a box or not. It can go up and down. For real military people, maybe they would be able to explain why sometimes you have antennas that go up, and then sometimes, on the Humvees and other tanks, you have them where they are more down this way, and I don't know what that's about, but I have seen that before, so that kind of makes it realistic for me. Then this is part of the Sound Attack line, so it does have, and unlike the other ones that, even though they run on the same batteries, and I do not remember, pushing this button that much on the other vehicles, but for some reason this one does still have some juice left in the batteries. So if you hit this diesel button on this side, the driver's side, you'll hear this sound. So to me that sounds more like a motorcycle than a Jeep or whatever, but anyway, so there's that sound. And I was looking, though, because I'm like, well, if this is part of the sound attack line, it's supposed to have the pegs that you put into the different slots in order to make the different sounds. And I kept looking and looking, and I was like, where is the sound attack thing? And, you know, on the other side, there's even the button, and it makes that sound attack sound. And I was still looking and looking and looking, and I even saw this gun actually slides in right there, and it swivels up and down. And I was like, okay, there again is the peg, so where is it? And it's actually this whole thing. You pull out this one, and I believe it will make the same sound even though you no longer have the stand there. So let's go ahead and see if I'm right. So there's it with just the gun. And there it is with the stand. So to me, they sound exactly the same. So that was kind of cool. I was like, okay, it's got to be somewhere. So I think they hit that one really well. And so to show you that it does do the sound attack thing, I have a missile launcher from another vehicle that wasn't juiced up, and you'll hear that sound next. So it's kind of the launching sound and then the explosion sound, both from this rocket launcher. And then we've got one more to show you. This little gun here, even though it ends up being upside down when you put it in the peg. So it's kind of quiet, but there are 3 different sounds for the sound attack. And again, smoke screen. Okay, well, why is it a smoke screen? And the reason why is because this vehicle has a secret to it, and so it's kind of smoke screening the fact that it's got another added feature to it. And that is this missile launcher back here, and it actually has 2 different missiles. I only have one for some reason, somewhere in the GI Joe room. But it does have these buttons on the side, and you kind of pull them one way to make them fire. And, you know, we can see it. But again, I don't want to lose this missile, so especially since I don't have the other one. So anyway, so the secret in this vehicle is supposedly that you fold down these things. I think you would want to rotate these if they're not already rotated. But actually, maybe you'd want them down because, no, I think you'd want them up. Because if the fan rotates, the idea is that it will go up. Yeah, we got the other one that way. So anyway, so you would put a figure in the seat here. Let's see if we can get double clutch to go in there. Alright, so he sits in there. He does have a computer screen that controls it if it was a real vehicle right there. Kind of hard to show you, but right there. But there's no other way for him to stay in there. There's no pegs on the foot area, and there's no handles. So I don't really know how he would stay in there, but anyway, so you keep him in there, and the idea is that he's now able to fly apart from this. So instead of just having one vehicle attacking, you can have 2 of them attacking. So that's the smoke screen gimmick or effect that why they named it what they did. So anyway, my 10 minutes are up. So there's a video for the 2003 smoke screen transport.